pleased to tell you that this month opens her gates, and who slinks in? Oh yeah, our coy and very magnetic Venus. That's right. She, right now, is entering the very, very steamy sign of Scorpio on December 4th. So right away you're going to feel those vibes. And now if that doesn't warm your winter chill, I don't know what would. I honestly don't know what would. That is a very spicy duo. It's a little bit interesting because Venus is rather superficial. She is, I'm sorry. We love her, but she's a bit superficial. And Scorpio is not. So that's where you will find a little bit of an interesting vibe with this, you know. And you all know how much I love Scorpion energy. I've made no secret of that. I have a Scorpio moon, so it just works for me. But it's intense, and a lot of people don't quite know how to handle Scorpio energy, and we've spoken a bit about that obviously recently with Scorpio season. But now here we go. So Venus in Scorpio is this very interesting time where you've got this very outward Venus, and you've got this very sort of more internal Scorpio, both very magnetic, both very alluring signs, very sexy signs, really, but in a very different way. You see, because Scorpio really insists upon intimacy, depth of connection. Certainly there's a lot of intensity, but Scorpio energy does not tolerate the superficial on any level. Now Venus, of course, is very outward, very, you know, flirtatious, light. You kind of think of her as like the cocktail chatter, and Scorpio is more like the deep, dark, private conversations. So she can be considered somewhat superficial, and obviously Scorpio is the polar opposite of that. So the way that works, the way that gets interesting, because Scorpio also has absolutely zero tolerance, zero patience for what it would consider surfacey or shallow. So Venus, this Venus placement, she's a bit out of her world, really. She's a bit out of her element in this sign, even though they can come together quite nicely if you play it right. You're definitely going to feel this this slight bit of awkwardness between the two, between the planet and the sign, particularly in those kinds of situations that we find ourselves in a lot this time of year, these social, you know, light, chow chatter, cocktail party situations, people talking about light, kind of, I don't want to say phony, but you know, it can be a little bit, you're in close quarters, but it can be kind of superficial. So you want to watch that energy, especially if you need to attend, say, a work function. That's a big one, right? Because you don't, because the Scorpion energy will get a little annoyed with the superficial. So like if you're at a work function, something where you need to make a good impression, or worse yet, a lover's work function, and you know, the chatter is just a little too phony, it feels a little too, you're going to be hypersensitive to it. It's sort of palpable. So you just have to do your best to remain poised, go into that Venusian energy of poised, of having a presence, of having this like more soft, quiet, kind of of a smoky allure that's really available to you right now, because you're combining the goddess of beauty and love with this very private but also very steamy sign. So just be aware of that when you're in social situations, even with family. You know, you might find yourself just getting really impatient with it. I do all the time. I am notoriously impatient with small talk, and yet you find yourself making it all the time. So use this energy, use your imagination to create some very interesting scenes in your world that will perhaps, some private scenes that will balance out some of that public superficiality. You catch my drift? I thought you would. The flip side, of course, is that there are these erotic vibes all around that you will feel, even if you're not like tuned into astrology. You're gonna feel it. You cannot even imagine the heat that can get kicked up at this time. And of course, we are firmly entrenched in the very exuberant energies of Sagittarius season right now, which is really, really, really fantastic. And you know, this sign is just so fabulous, really. It's so full of passion and excitement, and you know, he's ruled by none other than Jupiter. So there you have it. That should say everything. It's this incredibly lucky, fortuitous, expansive, sparkly, exciting sign. You know, there's a lot of good fortune here, a lot of growth. When I say expansion, I do mean growth. So there are opportunities everywhere. Solid financial gains too. That's really important. Solid financial gains are on the table. They are swirling all around. So know that they're there. There's also a lot of confidence and loyalty, those typical fire traits that are just, they're so good to have. And Sag is also very, very physical. So it is a fantastic time to really start thinking. If you haven't been, pay attention to your body, what your body needs. It needs exercise, it needs movement, it needs naked romping. But you must do it. You must. You know, you have to pay attention to your fitness, especially going into the cold season where everybody just wants to slump around and forget about it. It's really important, you know, and all the beauty rituals that really honor the body, which we're going to get to a little bit later with our potion, but not just yet. But first, we have to take a look at how the Archer's vibes are fluctuating a little bit this month. They are. We're going to hit that throughout the entire forecast, but you kind of need to keep that in mind as you're going throughout the month. First, you have to remember that Mars is still in Sagittarius and will remain here until the very beginning of next month. So you have this extra firepower, this extra will, this extra passion, this extra force, and this extra strength in the mix here. That is available to you. You have the sun, of course, also in Sagittarius, and the sun, it doesn't get brighter than the sun, so that's all adding to it. It's all solar power going in, and this really, really gives us all a badly needed break from doldrums. It gives us a badly needed burst of energy that I really do feel like we're all looking for. Energy and optimism. Optimism returns to just really get out there and begin to create those new ventures. Start conjuring the future. What does that next calendar year look like? We've got that momentum. You know, and we've talked quite a bit over the last few months about this, but we've also been in a bit of a releasing mode. Of course, here we are, one of my favorite little spots. Every sign has a power card, a tarot card associated, and Sagittarius happens to have, what do we have here? Oh, look. We just happen to happen. And what is it? It is Temperance. Now, Temperance will seem like an odd choice for Sag. It is about the balance of masculine and feminine energies. It reminds us to stay grounded in earth, which you can't really see the earth depicted, but it's there. So it's the idea of staying grounded in the earth while you go with the flow of water. What you see the water going between the cups. That's the flow. Very easy, very balanced. You want to stay true to your purpose. See, because Sag is this very, it's this energetic, passionate action sign, very broad stroke, big picture. And what this reminds us is actually, when you say balance, you think, well, that doesn't really make sense. Wouldn't that be more of a Libra card? But Sag is all about new ventures, right? And so this is about staying balanced and not getting too far to one end. Okay. Everyone I know, even if they aren't tuned into astrology, has been really thinking about new ventures. So this is right in tune with the season. And before I forget, this beautiful, beautiful deck is by Dawn Aquarius. It's the Aquarian deck. And she's a dear friend and very, very cool, groovy girl. Amazing artist. You can check her out. But also, she's got a brand new deck that you should really have. And I cannot wait for right now. The energy is really about new ventures. It's right on with the stars, where we're at. There's a ton of optimism out there right now, which I love because we don't always have that available to us. However, the very next day, we do have a Mercury retrograde. Please don't freak out. I hate when people freak out about retrogrades. It's not that big of a deal. But we do have it, so you need to know about it. And yes, this moon will be in this upcoming moon will be in the Mercury retrograde shadow, but forget about it. Okay? Fire energy rules here. We're in Sagittarius season. We're going to have a Sag new moon. Fire rules. Don't let anything stop your progress. Don't. Yes, Mercury will slow you down. Just a little bit. It will. And you do have to do all the things. You have to check things. But it's really just a temporary slowdown. And it's going to occur throughout this winter holiday season. So you know what? You will be doing other things. You'll be doing visiting, holidaying, whatevering. So my potion conjurings for you on this new moon will be actually very, very, very cool. They're going to be for feeding your beauty, of course, feeding your fire, and feeding your magnetism. All right? And keeping you remembering that the slowdown is temporary. It is a celebratory cocktail that aligns so perfectly with the season. The sparkle of Sagittarius, the sparkle of the whole holiday season, no matter what you're celebrating, the promise of beautiful things to come. Don't forget that. They are right around the bend. And just the general vibe in the air right now. It's really, really good. So do absolutely make it again and again throughout the season. You will enjoy it. You can tweak it to your liking, but I think you're going to like it just as it is. You see, because it's a cocktail, so it's fun, of course, but it feeds your skin and your spirit. And speaking of spirits, this recipe is virgin, but you can certainly make it a lady of the evening very, very quickly. I always do. So feel free to add a splash of your favorite spirit. What's going to work really well, in my opinion, is gin. Gin's my favorite. It's going to work really well, and it has that nice energy of the juniper, the magic of juniper berry. Also, though, vodka will work really well because it has no taste, essentially. So it really depends on if you want that ginny little twinge or if you want to just leave the flavor as it is. They're going to work equally well, and you're going to enjoy it. And the beautifying and hydrating benefits of the cocktail are going to very nicely balance any poison you desire. All right, it's called Crystal Snowflake, and here it is. Are going to have a retrograde to consider. So you're going to have to keep this all in mind because you're going to have this immense life force and being held back ever so slightly, just a slight slowing down, which is kind of like keeping an excitable child quiet. That's what it's going to be like in here. I know it's already happening for me. There's always an excitable child wanting to do things, and the outside world, the grown-up world, is kind of going, sit tight, babe, sit tight. I hate that. I hate sitting tight. But we are going to have to do that through to the beginning of January. It's all right. All planetary retrogrades have a purpose. So I know it's one of the ones that people know about and everybody really likes to freak out about. But the thing is that a collective freak out helps no one. No one. So don't do it. Just go with it. Just double check, recheck. Yes, it's going to be over the holidays. A lot of people will be traveling. Please check, recheck, and check again all your scheduling, your timetables, your planes, your trains, your automobiles, your devices, your cars, your transportation, your communication, your emails. Oh, this person didn't get back to me. I hate them. No, it's probably just our messenger planet mucking about a little bit. So don't worry so much. Try to take it in stride and utilize it best you can to refine maybe some of your strategies and some of the big picture plans, some of the new ventures that you're going to be getting into. They're going to need a little fine tuning, and now's the time to do it before you take a break and don't think about anything because it's holiday season. Give everything a once over. It could be that a new project needs to be looked at a little bit deeper, a little bit more, a little bit of going over, or it could be that something from the past, some older project, some older thing that you were working on, maybe some part of your business or your work that's been going on for a long time, maybe that needs to be revisited. That needs to be looked at. I really try to use retrogrades because I just find them invaluable, and I want you to see it that way too. Yes, they're annoying. Yes, I know. But they are invaluable. Because you see, Capricorn season now is officially beginning on Solstice. So it's an interesting thing because now, Sagittarius gets the energy going, gets the excitement. Capricorn gets the planning. But because of when it falls, honestly, we don't feel the Capricorn vibes right away. We never do. Never, ever, ever. Every single year, it's the same thing. Sag gets us going. We get the bustle of the winter holidays, the season, all the stuff going on. We get a bit of overload. It can be very exhausting. We're not really in that planful vibe just yet. That tends to kick in right after New Year's Day because everyone goes, oh my goodness, now what? What's ahead? You see, because Capricorn is all about ambition, but with direction, with purpose, with planning, with goals. I always take that very beginning of January, or even the end of December, if I can manage it, to sort of lay everything out on paper, strategize, put everything into action, put everything into plan, and then really, 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 I know we're all in like baked goods and travel season, but like try to use it because we really do have this energy available to take everything we let go of with Scorpio season, all the internal work we did, all the optimism and the energy from Scorpio season, and now we start to lay it all out in a beautiful, beautiful plan. And yes, we have our winter solstice. Oh my goodness, so, so, so gorgeous this holiday. How brilliant is it, this balance of light and dark, this promise of the sun returning. I really need the sun to return. I don't do particularly well in the darker months, but they're there, and they have their own beauty, and they have so much to offer, and in return, I think we need to align with those energies and put our energy in. So again, whatever you celebrate, take a moment to align with nature. Take a moment to align with nature, all her beauty, all her cycles, whether she's full and rich and abundant, whether she's barren and quiet and, Persephone going underground, whatever it is, give thanks to her. She really does tolerate us being on this earth. She really does tolerate us, and we haven't treated her all so well. So yeah. Now, going back to Sagittarius, those very energetic energies, let's call them, they're going to take a breather on the 23rd because as the current Mercury retrograde now hits the sign of Sagittarius, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel it because it's going to tap your vitality just a little bit. I'm so sorry, and it's really right in the middle of that busy, bustling time. But you know what? I think that's kind of perfect in nature's, in the cosmic infinite wisdom, because you're right in the middle of the holiday hubbub, and you're kind of reminded, to stop, take care of your body, take care of your spirit, take care of your mind, take care of your emotional body, rest a bit, find a little bit of space and time for resting, certainly for beauty rituals. They will always bring you back. I say it over and over and over again. They will bring you back every time. They will restore you every time. I mean, after all, you do want to dazzle when you make the rounds this season, when you go to your parties. So definitely take those beats. Get yourself together. Get yourself gorgeous. And shine. Which brings us to our glorious full moon on the 26th in the sign of Cancer. And yes, if you celebrate the Christmas holidays, you are going to feel that full moon as you are dealing with relatives, and it's going to be emotional and potentially a little bit go easy, right? Because it's going to be a very sensitive full moon, nurturing, homey, lovely, family, but also, volatile. Full moons are volatile. That's just what they are. They can be very explosive. So just go easy. You could work your magic the night before, of course, when we're in Gemini vibes, but we did just have a quite a intense Gemini moon, and I think this time of year, really, it's much more attuned to Cancerian energies, no? I mean, especially if you kind of need to recall those energies and sort of come back to that space. It's all female, nurturing, homey, maternal vibes, you know. It's home cooking and warm fires and clinking glasses and togetherness and quiet, you know. Wherever you are, you know, you want to put some energy into your home, into your loved ones, certainly. It's a very, very potent, nurturing time, as I say. It's also an extremely sensitive, potentially moody time. So just watch that. You know, you do want to connect with the positive energies of any sign, and try not to slip into the shadow too much. You know, it's an amazing time to connect with loved ones that are far away to you. If you're not able to see someone special and you're apart, definitely connect with them on the 26th. Definitely touch base, because it's going to be important and it's going to really be appreciated, you know. But it's also a time for taking care of yourself, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. So don't be surprised if you find that everyone is just a bit sappy on the holidays. It's alright, it's holiday season. Let it be. It will probably feel really good. It probably won't feel goofy. It will probably feel kind of nice right now. I promise. It's good. Go with it. I bring you my potion for this full moon. It's a warming, comforting. It can be extremely sensual, so I really would like you to go with that. But it really is part of a ritual. Think of it as ritual that will also add a little dash of fire to you when I think you kind of need it. Really, you need to be reminded of that. So enjoy. Have a soak from me, will you? Now, we're not done. On the 29th, our beautiful Venus also has a dance with, you guessed it, Sagittarius. I told you Sag energy was going to be all over the place, and he is. So with Venus going into Sagittarius, you'll be feeling really open. You'll be feeling adventurous. Your passions will be stirring. You'll feel excited, you know? Go with it. It's just going to feel really, really good, and it's exactly the right time. It's exactly the right time for expansion and growth. As we were talking about, get that fired up again with the traditional calendar new year getting going. Venus, right? So there's your growth in both your love and your money space. Expansion, good luck, good fortune in both these very, very important areas of your life. So use this energy well. I know I'm going to. Because then on the very next day, we have yet another cosmic gift. I told you this month was going to be full of them, and here we go. we have Jupiter again. Jupiter, the running theme of this month, of this season. Now Jupiter is stationed for the first time in quite some time, stationed direct in none other than, drum roll please, Taurus. Taurus. So again, with the, I bet you thought I was going to say Sagittarius. No. Taurus. So again, we've got the Venusian energies, yes? So much Venus. So much Venus is around, and don't you love her? Yes, yes, yes. More love, more money, even more of this good luck and this growth and this fortune and this just fantastic expansive energy. And you know what? Because of Taurus, there's stability under it, right? So it's not like a flittery air sign or a volatile fire sign. It's Taurus. So we are closing out delicious December with this solid foundation going into the new year of love and money. This absolutely awesome rush of abundance. I just can't think of anything nicer, really. I just can't. This is a wonderful end to the calendar year. It's a wonderful end of this chapter. And then we go forward. And I'm so excited for this. We all deserve it, no? I mean, come on, we've worked really hard on ourselves, on our work, our dharma in this life. Why not reap some of the rewards? And let us never, ever forget that on December 18th, it's Keith Richards' birthday. Yeah, global holiday. So make sure in all your busyness, you stop and you wish him many, many more happy, healthy, fabulous, groovy, musical, gorgeous ones. Gold rings on you, Keith. And with that, I bid you the most wonderful December, the most wonderful of holiday seasons, the most wonderful ending of the calendar year. I will be back in January, and I will see you, and we will explore 2024 together, and I'm very excited. And before we go, because it's my show and I can do this, I want to tell you that if you would like to know about your forecast for 2024, hit me up on my website and get yourself an astrological forecast for 2024 from me. I promise you it will be very, very helpful moving forward. We can also do a one-on-one astrology reading or any kind of reading, really. I also have an Astro Beauty reading that I do, but definitely hit thebewitywitch.com, check out all the offerings, because 2024 is going to be a big year, a good year, a big year. Lots going on, kind of like this year, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's going to be more abundant. So if you want to know all your juicy personal little details, hit me up on thebewitywitch.com. Until January, my loves, thank you for sharing this year with me, and many of you have shared many years with me, and you know I love you for it. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, mes amours.